Hey, it's been a hot minute since I've put out any public update whatsoever on my feature film, Vireality. Those of you who have been following the project since the beginning know that I was originally trying to do monthly update vlogs starting back in January 2015. Yeah, I've been at this for a long time. Way too long of a time. Production on Vireality, starting from page 1 of the script to where I am now, which we'll get to in a second, took up the better part of my 2010s and is now leaking into my 2020s. I'm not super proud of how long of a process this has been, but I am proud of the work that's been done along the way and is currently being done. But before I get into the latest on this big honkin' movie, there may be some of you watching who have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. My extreme elevator pitch for Vireality, which is a portmanteau of the words viral and reality, has always been this. I get pulled into YouTube to fight Google. And if that's not enough for you, then I've got three trailers that will help you out a little bit. Those are linked below, as well as every other previous vlog I've done for this to get you up to speed. But you can also just stick around this video and you'll figure it out. The reason I've been keeping this project hush-hush, even to a degree to the people in our behind-the-scenes Facebook group who have been privy to a bunch of stuff that no one else gets to see for years, is because I'm just so freaking excited about it. I don't want anyone to see how well this is coming along, how awesome it's turning out, until it's really ready to be seen. I know that seems selfish, but hey, you've waited this long, right? I don't want to hype it up too much and have you expecting some kind of Marvel or Star Wars or whatever level motion picture masterpiece. But as far as movies and videos that I've made go, yeah, this one kicks mucho aso. And hey, if I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, which to be honest is nearly impossible with this project, I have seen many worse movies. We've joked from the start that Vireality is a sci-fi action comedy suspense thriller, because it basically is. This thing is kind of crazy. In early 2020, before everything shut the heck down, I had basically 99% of the movie filmed and showed a rough VFX-less version to select members of the cast and crew, and their reactions couldn't have been better, really. They laughed, they cried, they laughed again, they embraced the action set pieces and tone, they laughed again, they felt all the right feels. But when are you going to be able to watch this movie? Well, that's the fun part. Vireality has been in post-production since fall 2019, and I'm still not even halfway through the effects. Now, before you click away or give up on this project entirely, here's the deal. You know when you stick around through the credits of a modern Hollywood movie and the visual effects team is like 1,000 people long? Yeah, just erase all those names and put James Strecker, LOL. I've gotten a lot more help on this movie than any I've made in the past, which we'll get to. But the majority of compositing, rotoscoping, endless hours of green screen keying and overlaying, this guy. And realistically, the time between fall 2019 and now, you know, like 2 years, it's fine, don't think about it. The slow going can be primarily blamed on my now primary YouTube channel, the Watchtower Database, which you may or may not be watching this video on because I'm uploading it both there and to my old channel, JTS Entertainment, which has become kind of a graveyard of demonetization, but that's a topic for another time. For Watchtower Database, I spend roughly 60 or 70 hours a week, or more sometimes, planning, writing, editing, and sometimes even performing the videos. But with a new assistant editor on the team, some scheduling reshuffling coming up at the top of 2022, and other small tweaks to the system, I'm aiming to have a lot more Vireality time at my fingertips very soon. So not to worry. And look, here's the other thing. When I started this project, I held myself to a very specific standard. I would not limit myself to only effects, acting, camera work, and whatever else that I already knew how to do. No, I would write whatever I wanted and then figure it out. I set the bar at a height that I knew would be tough to reach because I wanted this project to be my magnum opus, for lack of a better term.
All right, enough. You've been working way too much on this new movie.
But it's my greatest achievement, my magnum opus. And it's made what my team and I have completed so far so cool compared to anything we've done before. We got dolly work, we got drone shots, We got a completely original soundtrack. We got photorealistic CG. We got actual actors. We got professionally built costumes. We got a boom pole made out of PVC pipe and a broomstick. How did that one get in there? If you've caught some of my recent cinematic work on the Watchtower Database channel, like our Will It Canon episode on the Batman The Adventures Continue comic, or other recent videos that contain elements of our in-channel storyline, and or you were one of those people who tweeted, "Nobody told me we were allowed to make videos this good," then you will absolutely love this movie. And if you're someone who's known me for years and was a fan of the old Brigadier Crenshaw movies and other videos that my friends and I made in high school, then you will absolutely love this movie. Vireality is the culmination of every video I've ever made, both in terms of being a spiritual finale to all my action comedy sketches throughout time, and in terms of the epitome of all the skills that I and everyone else that's been involved in this have learned in the movie making realm. But I've also learned a ton about what to and to not do when making a feature film throughout these last few years on Vireality. It's been a roller coaster, but the kind that's built by traveling carnival workers and it gets stuck at the top, and then the maintenance dude who doesn't get paid enough has to climb up there and pull the dead bird out so it can keep going. It's that kind of roller coaster. So let's talk about what's happening right now with Vireality. As I showed a second ago, we've been working on all sorts of CGI vehicles, objects, and structures. And by we, I mean me saying, hey, it should kind of look like this, and my new buddy Jace Griffin going, okay. Jace is a Floridian man of culture, Star Trek culture to be exact, who is doing phenomenal stuff. I won't show everything here because spoilers be spoilers, but I'll just say the space shuttle looked like this when I first tried to make it in 2009. It looks a tiny bit better now. Suffice to say, Jace has been a vital member of the post-production team, and I really can't wait for you to see everything he's done and will do. Similarly, we've got my old pal Adam Mullen, who is not only writing all of the music for Vireality, but has served as my body double on multiple occasions when I've had to play two characters in one scene. When Adam's not wearing costumes already covered in my own sweat, he's sitting at his music writing throne, having already created the score for a good third or so of the movie. The reason it's not more than that is mostly due to me being like, yeah, don't write music for this scene yet because Jace still has to make the CG model, and then I have to figure out the timing for the effect shots, and it's a whole process which always comes down to me. And I have a baby now. But hey, if you stick around to the end, I'll be using a track of Adam's from the movie in the end screen of this video. His work is always awesome. You've heard it on both of these YouTube channels multiple times, and I think we're really honing in on what Vireality's musical structure will look like, or sound like. I'm not going to take the time right now to thank every person that's worked their ass off to make this movie happen. I'm saving that for the premiere, but there have been so many people who have done their part hauling props or painting green screens, holding the boom mic, holding the camera, wearing a clunky, uncomfortable robot costume.
John, in your own words, what does that costume feel like?
Oh, it feels like I'm in a cocoon, I guess. I guess I feel like a baby, sort of. I don't have any range of motion. It's sharp.
You did your best, Benja. The costume looks kick-ass, don't worry. Everything you can imagine would happen on a film set, and then some. Not the least of which have been my dad, my mom, my wife. It's been a monster of a project. Some recent news, we just did a shoot a few weeks ago for a scene that was left unfinished due to scheduling conflicts and this whole hilarious virus thing. My family and I collectively bought my dad a new drone for his birthday a few months back, for which I will be selfishly calling upon him to use for various aerial shots as well. Jace is working on a CGI double of me to toss around for stunt work or replace the real me with in a few shots where I definitely f***ed up. And constant VFX work is happening from me when I'm not making those weekly videos for Watchtower Database or keeping a small human alive, which again will all be becoming more evenly balanced very soon. And while I don't have anything 100% locked in yet, we have been eyeing potential theaters for a premiere and distribution companies to get the movie streaming and out there on Blu-ray and DVD. Some really fun options there, so stay tuned. As far as the actual effects shots themselves go, if you want to know, Here's why it's been taking so long. The production on filming Vireality was the definition of "we'll fix it in post," largely due to locations with short availability, unexpected weather, wardrobe malfunctions, or a number of other unanticipated problems. Budgetary limitations galore. We only raised like a third of what we wanted in our original fundraiser a few years back, so it's been a continuous couch cushion coin finding process. None of this stuff so far, though, has been cause for any actual worry. But it does mean there's a lot of, well, this kind of thing. See, I forgot to shave when we filmed on this mountain, and my character has different facial hair for the rest of the entire movie, so I have to go through every shot of this scene and do this. Now I'm shaved virtually. People walking through the background. Signs or objects that aren't supposed to be there. Boom mics getting in the shot. When your continuity supervisor is yourself, and you're almost always inside of a costume you can barely see out of. Once I get all that nonsense out of the way that you'll never notice unless I tell you about it, then I can get to the fun stuff. The stuff like this. You see that? It's J.J. Abrams all up in this bitch. But I really don't mean for this video to be, here are all the excuses. I just want you to be out of the dark. I want you to know what's up and that work is being done on the movie, even if you rarely or never hear about that progress. Here's what matters. I get a huge smile on my face every time I revisit a scene from this thing so far. Yeah, I see all the stuff we could have done better, but I also see every single second that makes me think, I cannot wait to show this to people. I wish I could leave you with something like, and now, here's the first 5 minutes of the movie completely finished. But I can't do that. There have been some new exclusive clips and behind the scenes stuff playing throughout this video that nobody has seen yet. But for now, rest assured that your friendly neighborhood Spider James is indeed still chugging along at Vireality. In the meantime, there is no shortage of James Strecker-helmed creative projects for you to consume, such as the Watchtower Database channel I've now plugged 5 times in this update, where we put out weekly videos all about the 90s DC Comics cartoons, the grouping of shows and movies fan-dubbed the DC Animated Universe. Everything from Easter egg breakdowns, to character and actor spotlights, to podcasts, to insanely nitpicky timeline and continuity analyses, and everything in between. Whatever's in between that stuff, we do that too. Accompanying that channel is our webcomic Legacies of the DC Animated Universe. We've got a pretty great team of amazing artists and writers on this thing, and there are about a dozen issues online right now at legacesdcau.com. The comic takes place right after the end of the Justice League Unlimited animated series, filling in the gaps we never saw that lead up to the futuristic Batman Beyond show. All original stories, all original art. Come check it out. And lastly, should you be so inclined, our composer Adam Mullen also has a ton of creative projects going on all the time, which includes music, of course, but also original comics like Lost Dominion and Fracture Point, which are available on Comixology. That's better than I can say. Lost Dominion is also about to host a Kickstarter fundraiser, which you can find at the link below. Click on the Notify Me on Launch button to stay up to date with that and help unlock some giveaways on the comic's social media. This is also all available via Adam's website, lumostation.com. So as far as when Vireality will be completely done, when and where it'll premiere, how you can watch it, I don't have answers to these questions quite yet. There's movement on that front, but nothing definitive. And honestly, even when we're like 95% done with all the effects and music and everything, I'll still be hesitant to give a date until I'm absolutely certain. I don't think there's anyone out there who's assumed that I've given up on this thing, or stopped working on it for whatever reason, or slipped away silently into the night hoping that no one notices I still haven't sent them their poster or sweatshirt from the original crowdfunding back in 2014. I'm still here, Vireality is still an ever-present item on my endless to-do list, and it will happen. Like I said, I want nothing more than to show this thing to the world. I am going to bawl like a baby, or like a me, when the credits roll in a theater packed with cast, crew, family, friends, enemies, gremlins. The gremlins better be there. Or at least I hope we'll be in a theater. Wear your mask. Get vaccinated. Stop being stubborn. People are dying. I definitely put that part at the end to increase watch time. But that's all I've got for you today. I wish it were more, but I'm also really proud of all the work we've been doing lately and the progress that's being made. Vireality is gonna knock your friggin' socks off. I guarantee it. If you want more consistent movie updates, follow the Instagram, Twitter, and or Facebook accounts at Vireality Movie, where I'm occasionally posting behind the scenes stuff like screenshots, photos from shoots, CGI previews, etc. And if you are watching this on the WDB channel, our coverage of the new Justice League Infinity issue will be coming next week. I'm sorry for the delay, but we were just shooting one of those giant storyline videos I was talking about this past weekend, and there was no way I was going to be able to do both. That cinematic stuff will be worth the wait too. Now, I'm gonna go back to frame by frame removing stubble from my face and combining hundreds of green screen shots into a giant battlefield full of Looney Tunes. Surprise! I've actually been working on Space Jam 3 this whole time! See you later!